adjusted the grind. A bit better?
It's a lot better.
Nice. Welcome to Friday night for Friday the 3rd of November. First question we had from a customer who emailed said, he's an angry customer. People get very angry when we provide them with free information. They don't talk to us via email or via comments the way they would to my face.
Yeah.
Without the expletives.
Yep.
He said, how are you supposed to wash the wash mitt while it's on the car or in between washes as per our zero bucket method? You rinse the wash mitt out with the high pressure hose.
Yep.
How are you supposed to do that? And I explained it to him, but I thought we'd put it in the video for everyone else. So what we do is, as you can see here, some cars have a wiper arm that sits underneath the bonnet, and there should be a function to have that raise up and above. Place the wash mitt underneath the wiper arm so it holds it in place effectively, so you can shower that wash mitt, rinse it with your high pressure hose, removing it of all your particulates. It's now clean, it's quick and easy to do so, and instead of dunking it in a bucket, you have a clean wash mitt, not something that's filled with the particles from the rest of the wash. Nice and easy to understand. Good. Next question was from David Ianello.
Sorry. One thing,
Yeah.
if you want to mention, some cars it's easier to put the wash mitt on the rear window if they have a hatch with a rear wiper arm.
That's true.
Yeah.
If the car is a hatchback and you have a rear wiper arm, we find it easier to use the rear hatch wiper arms. If you have that, use the rear hatch wiper arm. It's more, is it because it's vertical?
Maybe. Yeah.
Something about it that makes it easier. Anyway, next question's from David Ianello, and he wants us to debunk the wash foam or foaming wash method. It's something that we used to do a while ago, and we would cover the car in foam basically, thinking that the foam would somehow encapsulate dirt and remove it from the car better than any other method, which isn't true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're doing that all that time. We thought at the time that was the thing to do. We just did it because it was one of those processes that everyone was talking about, but unfortunately it doesn't work. It's actually does some damage. So these foaming products usually are the foam is created by a sodium lauryl sulfate or similar, SLS for short, and the SLS isn't damaging so much to paintwork or glass or chrome, but it gets everywhere. So it gets into and comes into contact with all your soft rubbers that provide seals for windows and things, and it strips moisture from those rubbers. That's where the impact is for your car. In the long run, if you regularly foam the outside of your car, the most detrimental impact will be as a result of the SLS constantly coming into contact with those soft rubbers. They're permanent. It's not like silicone on tyres. You replace your tyres, they're consumable items. These rubbers and seals, they're meant to last
the life of the car,
forever. And you significantly damage them with SLS. And it's not as if their lifespan is shorter. Within a year or so, there's significant damage that you can see. And that means you get some air into the cabin and the car's noisier, it doesn't seal as well, and water gets in. If you've got electronics in your door, which pretty much any modern car, any car made in the last 15 years has electronics inside the door cavity, you're going to have water getting in places and air getting in places where you don't want. Hence why the manufacturer put the seals there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So yes, those foaming washers are no good for that one reason. There's quite a few reasons. We'll go through the others. The other one is, most importantly for me, is that they have a negative impact on your health. So there's minor issues where the foam will come into contact with your skin, and that's not good. You have very, very minor issues like dermatitis, which some people won't call minor. But it can aggravate all the dermatitis that already exists, or it can start that, and that can be something that will last years, which it does for me because I'm silly enough to have bad habits, not use gloves and things like that. So that's the other thing, and there are a few reports. it's very, very early on, but there are a few reports that SLS has caused cancer. I'm going to be very, very clear that these are early reports. There's a couple of dozen papers, but it's very, very early on. But just in case, since foaming agents have no benefit on the car, and they could be damaging, and they're not, it's one more step and more money that goes into the process. Because we're not the type of guys to do fancy for the sake of fancy, we carry out processes for the sake of car care, right? Not because it's convoluted and looks cool.
Yep.
For those reasons, we immediately say foam is bad. Foam is not that foaming step is not a step that we would recommend. Highly not recommended. Then there are a few other issues as well, which I forgot.
What did you say yesterday? There was washing product unnecessarily down the drain.
Oh yeah, then there are environmental issues. So you're washing away more product that's unnecessary. There's cost. They're not cheap. In fact, a foaming gun and a foaming, all the materials that you throw into the gun, that all adds up. That's one more consumable you have to pay for and use. If you're like me, you don't have much time on the weekend to wash the car. That's one more step that makes that process longer, significantly longer. There's not just the time to foam the car, there's the setup time, there's the waiting time. Overseas, this might not be as bad. So in England, when I saw this starting, the trend seemed to start in England, where it's generally cold all the time. Here in our summer, it gets to, last year wasn't too bad, but the year before it was regularly over 40.
Yep.
For the Americans, that's what, 100? Over 100, well over 100.
It's over 100.
46, 45, 46 it gets here, that's what, 110 Fahrenheit? Something like that.
Say that.
Fucking hot. So having the foam on that surface for minutes, drying in the sun, even if it's not in the sun, even if it's in the shade, but having those ambient temperatures, because you're generally be doing this outdoors, is accelerating all those bad issues for paintwork.
Yep.
You start to get some water marking and you have some issues there. It doesn't really clean. Foaming agents don't clean. SLS doesn't clean. SLS has a job to expand, to help you clean. It works ancillary to the main compounds in that whatever that product is. So we don't, but if you do add SLS, it's to clean in and around fibres. It's not to clean glassy, glossy surfaces like paint, glass, and chrome.
Yep.
If you had a rag top, it may assist to help clean. I would get in and around the fibres and it will assist a little, but not much. But the low SLS is a very, very, very small amount of foam in something like our car wash would do that fine. So our body shampoo cleans a soft top, fine. You don't need all that extra SLS. And the stuff that foams really, really well is just chock full of it. There's a common belief too that it will help you minimise swirls. Foam will help you minimise swirls. So this guy sent me a link, the guy who emailed me, who wasn't happy with my stance on foam, sent me a link to arguably the most popular detailer on YouTube. And he had a video where he was pushing the foam underneath the wash mitt, and he claimed that helped minimise swirls. The protection added by doing that is insignificant. Unfortunately, foam is mostly air, and that collapses with very, very little pressure. So you don't have any suspension on that surface. It does very, very little to stop that or to reduce that mechanical action. The best thing to do is to apply your body shampoo directly to your wash mitt, as we do in the zero bucket method, which doesn't have a foaming step. That's the best way to minimise swirling because you have the lubrication there. Foam does not help or significantly help reduce swirling. I think that's
pretty much it.
That's cleared that up.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any more points. There are a few other things, but it's bad on a number of levels, and it costs money, and it takes more time. For all those reasons, it's out of our process, out of our recommended process. I hope that helps. The safety of the foams brings me to an email which a customer sent
Yep.
regarding safety of chemicals, our chemicals. He was referring to our chemicals, but I think just to talk about chemicals that we use in our industry in general, not just for professional detailers, but for enthusiasts at home in
Yep.
working with retail products that they apply in their garage, some of which now, fortunately, are professional grade. I believe we were the first in Australia to take professional products that professional detailers use and sell them directly to people,
Yep.
to enthusiasts that could use them at home. So there are some potential issues, and our industry isn't governed as well as people would like to think. You can buy almost anything you like from anywhere in the world, ship it here, brand it as whatever, even if it wasn't meant for automotive use, do zero testing, have incorrect safety labeling, have no one that's qualified look over that product, and then place it on a shelf or on an online store and have people buy and use it. And that's scary.
Yep.
That's not good at all. Especially not good for businesses like us, which spend a lot of money and time properly testing and having labeling that is clear and accurate and safe.
Yep.
If you're using a product that you're not sure of in regards to its safety, definitely don't buy it. No saving that you can make or gloss that you can achieve is worth that.
Yep.
That safety is first, everything else comes second. We can manufacture products that will work faster and better, but we don't because they're just not safe.
Yep.
Some of the products that do work faster, not better, but work faster, that are being sold on shelves or sold online in particular, are illegal and, in my opinion, are very unsafe. They've got to be gone. And even when we contact the authorities and say, this guy is selling a product that we know to be unsafe and shouldn't be sold, at least to retailers, it should be sold to professionals who are trained to use that product. They do little to nothing
Yep.
to stop that. There's not only is there no oversight, there's very, very little enforcement when we do what we do to notify authorities. So that it is a serious issue. When you use our products, you can be sure that they're all safe. They've been checked and tested. Every product is a compromise. Water is probably the safest product. And anytime you move away from water to clean something, you're compromising the safety of that product. But as long as you use common sense, you read the safety directions and you do what we ask in terms of safety, you can be sure that the product is a very, very, very safe product. And we try and make the products forgiving as well. Safety is first priority for you, for the operator using the product, and secondly is also to make sure that product's highly compatible with the surface it's going to be used on. So you don't want a wheel cleaner that's going to damage wheels, or clean the wheels well but damage brake components.
Yep.
You don't want a corrosive product that's going to be great on wheels, which are usually clear coated, and wheels can put up with a lot. But bare metal components that in your brakes, pins that might fuse because
Yep.
they're being hit with a corrosive product that eventually rusts them and binds them together. To me, that's part of the safety thing. It's safe for the operator and safe to be used for that application.
Yep.
Some products are purchased and rebranded or branded as to be used for an application that they weren't designed for, and that's unsafe. Sometimes for both the operator, sometimes the operator and vehicle, sometimes just for the vehicle. Now, the first thing that a lot of people don't do, and I've got to admit I don't do all the time, is to wear gloves. Very, very important. Got to wear gloves all the time. Cheapest form of insurance, couple of bucks, you put them on in 10 seconds.
Yep.
If you're not doing that, like me, you're bonkers. It's crazy, especially if you do what I do, which is do it as a job.
Yep.
You need to be wearing gloves all the time. Next up would be headphones. So we wear headphones because we have about sometimes 8 hours a day of polishing to do.
Yep.
and you want something that's isolating noise as well as providing a little bit of audio in, because it gets boring doing something 8 hours a day hearing a hum. It's just a lot nicer when you've got a little bit of audio coming in. So we use these Beyerdynamic, or I prefer, you don't use these. Do you like these? Have you tried them?
Yeah.
I love these. I've used these. I tried a bunch of different brands, which I won't mention, and then I went to these old things. Look how battered they are. They're about 12 years old now. They're Beyerdynamic DT250s. I saw them in a studio and asked someone why they were chosen, and they said for their brilliant isolation and very flat sound. They do have a beautiful monitor kind of sound.
Yeah.
Use a 3.5mm jack, which goes into my iPhone for now.
Yeah.
I can't upgrade. They isolate really, really well. Nothing isolates like them.
I think mine isolate more.
Yeah, you want to fight about it?
Yep.
They isolate well enough. Even though I've never changed the pads.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really well. They cut at least, I reckon, 40 dB out, at least. And then when you've got a little bit of audio going in, which sounds really nice through them, it's just bliss working.
Yep.
They're not cheap, but they have lasted. I've replaced the cord once or twice because I keep bending this in my pocket and breaking it. Could be a little bit. I could be kinder to it, but I think the cords are $40, and I've replaced them twice in the last 10 plus years. So yeah, Beyerdynamic DT250s for me. And your favourite?
Currently using a pair of Pioneer. What are they? I think HDJ 2000.
And you
Mark
happy with them?
IIs. Yeah. They're a nice headphone. They block out a lot of noise.
Well,
really well. And I think I like the sound.
For 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're a bit bulky.
Yep.
I mean, they're huge. Look at them.
Yeah.
They're massive, but they're so comfy.
Yeah.
They you could easily wear them for 8 hours a day. Actually, the only problem I've got with them is because they're over the ear and they're a bit bulky in summer, they can get a bit warm.
Yeah, I think
after 8 hours you get
any headphone.
But they're comfortable. You get a bit sweaty, but it's still pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
And without them, to be honest, even without them, it's still pretty bad when it gets that warm. But yeah, must have.
Eye protection?
Eye protection, have to do it. For me, I just get cheap $10 clear protection glasses. If I'm outside, I use my sunnies.
Yep.
And they're good enough. They stop splashes and things like that. If something happens to come back up in your face, because you never know if you're spinning a machine at speed, something might happen. That has happened to you?
Yeah.
Because in 20 years, I've had a few issues where like a pad might just come apart or something like that, hit you in the face. And if it hits you in the face, it's fine, but it hits you in the eye, not good.
Yeah.
I think that's done. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching to the end, guys. Dominic has a special offer for the viewers.
What we've got, we have a 500ml bottle of dark matter to give away. In order to go into the draw, share this page to one of your friends or anybody. If the person you've shared it to likes the page, you both go in the draw.
So both people have to share and like to go in the draw?
Not both. Do both people have to share?
They do. So both people have to share the video and like the video.
This is getting confusing now.
So
if I share it to you and you need to share it to someone else?
Yeah, if you share it to me, you go in the draw.
Yeah.
If I don't share it, I don't go in the draw.
Okay, so you have to share it to go in the draw.
I have to then share it again, and then we're both in the draw. And if the third person and so on.
Yep, then everyone goes in the draw.
And what do they win?
Okay, they win a 500ml bottle of dark matter.
250 or 500?
Let's go 500.
500?
Yeah.
That's coming out of your pay this week.
Yep.
That's a big one. It's nice. That's it?
Yeah, do we need to clear that up again, or did that make sense?
Maybe just run over it again.
Run over it again?
Yeah.
So if you share this video, you go into the draw to win a 500ml bottle. If the person you share it to also shares it, they go in the draw to win the 500ml bottle.
500ml dark matter. Beautiful. That's all for Friday the 3rd of November. Just getting close to Christmas.
It is.
See you guys. Hope you enjoyed. This one was chock full of information, but it was short and sweet. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
See you guys.